Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's stand up. We're going to start with a couple of very brief exercises. Today's topic is on affirmations. And let's start with walking in place and saying out loud this affirmation. I am awake and ready. 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 And then I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. 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 Let's start with the prayer. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, Guru Preceptors, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashai, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Gurudev, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. O great ones, help us to be enthusiastic, positive, energetic throughout our whole lives as we seek thee, that we might find thee in thy light, in thy joy. We are thine. Be with us now and be with us always. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's now hear a chant by Swamiji. I awaken thy light, and please sing along. Talk by Swamiji. Nitendra, there's no sound. Shall I start with something else? Sure. So, shall I just go ahead, Nitendra? Is that working?
I think there's some problem with sound.
Sure. Okay, no problem. I'd like to start then with a brief reading from this book, Affirmations for Self-Healing by Swamiji. And these are his words on affirmations. An affirmation is a statement of truth which one aspires to absorb in one's life. It has been said that we are what we eat, but it is truer to say we are what we think. Affirmations, when repeated with deep concentration, then carried into the subconscious, can change us on levels of the mind over which most of us have little conscious control. And then Master says this in affirmations: repeating an affirmation vigorously from loud to whisper, and lastly from a whisper to mental affirmation. Feel what you are saying, repeating the phrase with increasing depth of soul feeling until one realizes the meaning of his utterance in every fiber of his being. This is these are powerful words from Swamiji and Master, and such an important topic because we can change our very karma from our thoughts. We can change our future. We can finish the past karma. We can change our circumstances. We can change our level of income. We can become more abundant, more prosperous. We can become healthier. We can have more friends. We can have more opportunities for success in life. We can be more strong and successful and centered in ourselves. We can find God through affirmations. But people go around saying, no, God will never come. He hasn't come yet. I haven't seen the light. Om isn't there. I just threw my own board away. And people just don't get themselves behind what they're wanting to do. And you get behind it, first of all, with thought. Thoughts are things. As you put out particular thoughts, they draw. Just like is attracting like. If you put out the thought all the time, it won't work. I won't be successful. I'm tired. I don't feel good. Oh, I gotta go lie down again. It goes on and on and on. And I was remembering a woman who was with me at Ananda Village when I first went there. And it wasn't that I was all that happy getting up at 4:30 in the morning either. I think that was the time. I had never gotten up that early. But we were rooming together, and this girl was on the upper bunk. And I remember every morning that gong would go off. They would ring it and to wake people up. And she would say, I hate getting up. I hate getting, don't you hate getting up? And I just couldn't say it, even though I didn't like getting up. I didn't hate it, but I was not going to affirm that. I was at Ananda to change my thoughts, to change my attitudes. And she ended up leaving pretty soon because she hated getting up, and she kept affirming that all the time. And so with affirmations, we make our lives what they are. We have to realize that. And our teachings, you can see why we did this, these exercises today, because I wanted people to feel what it feels like when you're awake and ready. As Master came out and would say to his audiences, ask them, how feels everybody? And Swamiji at his talks would come into the room and say, how feels everybody? And everybody there in the talk would say, awake and ready. And it's such a high, positive, energetic, magnetic level of your being if you can keep your energy up. And so in our teachings, we use affirmations in just about everything. Even I was thinking this morning, even Hong Sa is a type of affirmation. We're saying, I am he, I am spirit. Even the Om, when we practice Om technique, that's an affirmation. I am Om. We're saying the whole time mentally, Om, Om, I am Om. This is what this is meaning, that I'm merging myself in Om, and even those practices. And then, of course, with super conscious living, they're done with affirmations, like we did 2 of them today. And also our yoga postures, Ananda Yoga, is done with affirmations. I can't think of one at the moment, but I'm sure you can think of one. And also with chanting, we have affirmations. What Swamiji just sang, I awake in thy light, I awake in thy light, I am joyful, I am free. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, and think about chanting that for an hour. Then I awaken thy joy, then I awaken thy love, I'm joyful, I'm free. This invigorates you, it completely changes the DNA in your body. And so chant affirmations, we use those as well. And you can sing along with on a recording as well. If you don't want to chant them, you can't chant them by yourself. Then the other thing is you can chant them. I mean, not chant them, but I've used affirmations for other people. Like my mom one time, she had a triple bypass surgery in the hospital. And we had all gone there we were there the whole time, of course. And then we went in to see her. And she hadn't awakened yet after the surgery. But the doctor said she's going to be fine. Now, she was in her 70s then. I mean, definitely we were worried. And so I went in, and my sisters were just broken apart. They were just weeping. And I said, just go out of the room. I knew my mother didn't need that. And I stood by her bed. And it was such a wonderful experience, because I did an affirmation for her. I said, Mom, you're doing fine. The doctor says your surgery went fine. Your heart is fine. Mom, you're doing fine. I repeated that over and over and over. And then within about an hour, my mother woke up. I wasn't still there. She woke up, and I went, and she just was sitting up having breakfast. And I said, Mom, you're doing fine. And she says, yes, I heard you. Thank you. I heard you. And so even if someone else can't do it, you can do it for them. And I want to just go over a few affirmations to show you which ones you can do. Just 1 second, though. This book is the one I want to show you. It's a fabulous book. And it's just come out recently, a couple of months back. And here's a couple of affirmations. I'm just giving you some samples that you can use on your own. Today, I will abolish ignorance by contacting God. You can repeat that over and over. And how do we do an affirmation? We say it loudly first, with vigor, to wake up the conscious mind who's sleeping until you wake it up. That's why people are sitting in front of the television. Their mind is asleep. So if in an affirmation, you wake up, focus the conscious mind with a loud voice first, and then more quietly to shake up all, it's like a closet in the subconscious mind. There's all the stuff buried from lifetimes and things you don't, attitudes, wrong attitudes and habit patterns and emotions and things from the past that people say, I'm done with that. But you ask them about something, they're still mad about something happened so long ago. You remember the story of this woman who was I don't know if she was a disciple, but she would come to see Master and talk with him about her problems. And so she came and she said, he said she would say the same thing every time. And so finally she said, oh, it was terrible. I was in the hospital. It was just awful. It was terrible. And he said, finally, he said, well, how long ago? You gotta love this. She said, how long ago was it? Master asked her. And she said, 20 years ago. And he said, you're still getting operated on every day since then? And these are the things people hold on. If you can get out of that by affirming strongly in your mind, one of these affirmations, several of them, do one a day, one a week. Then you begin to just, that old closet of old attachments and desires and habits, you just begin to clear it out. Then you say the affirmation more quietly in a whisper, and you're planting that seed up in the super conscious mind. So first awaken the conscious, then go into the subconscious and clean it out. And then raise your energy up to the spiritual eye and quiet, more silent, whispering than silently. Say the affirmation there. And you do it several times. I know some people do affirmation 3 times. It doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for you, but you can do it more and more and just get it. Then you're going to feel like, wow, my brain cells have been changed. Here's another good one. Today, I will visualize the great things which I need and will steadily use my willpower, my creative ability, and my patience to materialize them. Another one. I am brave. I am strong. Perfume of success thoughts blows in me, blows in me. I'm cool, I'm calm. I'm sweet, I'm kind. I'm love and sympathy. I'm charming and magnetic. Isn't that a beautiful affirmation? These are all from Paramahansa Yoganandaji. And I'm only doing a little part of it. Here's one. I will dash to the home of freedom by desiring nothing else but the God contact, which comes through the peace of meditation. And I'd like to close this part, then we have some questions and answers I want to go into. I'd like to close with an affirmation. So let's inhale, tense the body, vibrate your whole body, exhale, get the energy flowing in the body and the brain. Once more. This is an affirmation from Master. You're going to enjoy this. This is one of my favorites. Close your eyes, look up at the spiritual eye, and repeat these words after me. First loud, then more softly, more and more softly, then in a whisper, and then mentally and up to the spiritual eye. Feel your whole body is tingling with the cosmic current flowing through you, the vibration of God. Please repeat and visualize this current. Thy cosmic current flows in me, flows in me. Thy cosmic current flows in me, flows in me. Through my medulla, flows in me, flows in me. Through my medulla, flows in me, flows in me. I think and will the current to flow. I think and will the current to flow. In all my body, the current to flow. I am charged, I am cured. I am charged, I am cured. Lightning flash goes through me. Lightning flash goes through me. I am cured, I am cured. Feel any mental, physical ailments. I am cured, I am cured. Thy cosmic current flows in me. Thy cosmic current flows in me. Flows in me, flows in me. Through my medulla, flows in me. I think and will the current to flow. I think and will the current to flow. In all my body, the current to flow. I am charged, I am cured. I am charged, I am cured. Lightning flash goes through me. Lightning flash goes through me. I am cured. I am cured. I am cured. I am cured. Look up at the spiritual eye, mentally repeat, I am cured. I am cured. Lightning flash goes through me. I am cured. I am cured. I am cured. Sit for a moment. Om Shanti. Shanti. Now Natendra, let's bring up that other, if it's possible, bring up that other affirmation. And this is one you can use. We won't do it ourselves today, but I'd like you to see it. It's for if the difficult people in your life, disturbances, this peace and harmony prayer is fabulous to just dissolve difficulties with other people, with the other situations. You can do it for the world. And you can see here, you say these words, Lord, fill this world or the person's name with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. You repeat that 10 times, visualizing yourself in light. Then you say, Lord, fill me with peace and harmony, peace and harmony, 5 times. Sorry, 3 times. And 5 times every day if you can, but 10 times for the person or the situation and 3 times for yourself. Om Shanti, Shanti. Okay, so let's go now into the questions.
Sure, Dhyanaji, we have a bunch of questions. And the first one is, do negative thoughts contribute to illness?
Definitely, they do. And your negative thoughts, certainly, and other people's negative thoughts you get from things you read, negative vibrations you get from music that you listen to, from environments. If you're in a very negative, hostile environment, that affects you. You don't feel so good, even while you're in that environment. And afterwards is the same. You just feel a little bit out of sorts. And so keep your thoughts positive to keep your energy up. Negative thoughts bring the energy down. When energy's down, illnesses can come in much more easily into the body. And so, yes, negativity in all ways, and everything around you is affecting you. And a good thing to do is um, this practice, Om Tat Sat. I won't stand up and do it, but bring the hands forward and back, chanting Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, to put that aura and vibration all around you to protect you when you're in those kind of environments. It'd be good to do it every day if you can. Okay, next one.
Energy next is, what if I've been doing an affirmation for a while, but there has been no change? What does it mean? Am I not doing it properly?
That's an interesting question, isn't it? Because an affirmation by itself isn't quite enough. You have to have faith. Isn't it so? You have to have faith in what you're saying. You can't just say, I'm brave, I'm strong, I'm magnetic, I'm calm, I'm poised. This doesn't do anything. You have to be engaged. Just like we did that affirmation, we were completely engaged. If you want to make a change, you have to put your whole will, your focus, your energy, your faith. And mainly the faith needs to be in yourself, is what I've seen. God's power is there, but we have to open ourselves up to receive it. And so you see what kind of vigor we use with that affirmation. Use that kind of vigor. And yes, then you will get some answers through your affirmations. The other thing is, why not let God do the choosing? Isn't it so? I mean, we can say, I want it, I want it, I want it. That's my affirmation. I want a new car. I want a new car. That's not very open to what the divine wants. Give me more money. We're not talking about that. We're saying to uplift our consciousness enough so that what God wants to give us, He can give us. And I don't know how you all do it, but I always say, Divine Mother, if it's right, I will take it. If it's not, I don't want it. And so affirm with faith, with power, but also with openness to what does Divine Mother want. And you will find that you get the right things then. Do you just want to have anything and everything, or do you want to have the right things?
Thank you, Dhanaji. The next is a live question. How to survive in mild hostile atmosphere? How do we become friends with them?
I would do that peace and harmony prayer for sure. Do it daily for a while. There have been many people at Ananda who've used that and had very good results. The other thing, along with that, now listen, we can't put the blame on everybody else all the time. Let's face it. It's typically 50-50 is what I've seen. There's at least some blame on the other person's part, but no, you did it. So a good thing to do is think about this. Change yourself. I know those aren't words people always want to hear, but change yourself. And how do we change ourselves? Well, we strengthen ourselves through our energy exercises, get more calm through yoga postures. I'm calm, I am poised is one of the affirmations. We center ourselves in meditation. We burn up our karma through kriya. We do this, Om Tat Sat. We wear an astrological bangle. This is the bangle over here if we can. We chant, we affirm. So don't be passive and don't have victim consciousness. If it's always that way, then I just find you don't grow. So yes, there's people are difficult in people's lives. I remember a time in India, I just said, oh God, I went back to America for a break and I just never wanted to come back. I hate to say that was the truth because there were so many difficult people. But then I came back, and now let's think about it. If I hadn't come back, I would have weakened. Isn't it so? The fact that I came back and faced it, I grew through it, and I got stronger and stronger and stronger, and I'm still here after 17 years. But I'd be sitting in a house there at Ananda Village, you know. So there's people are there as tests, and Master said sometimes they're in your own family. That Divine Mother tests you. You've been together in other lifetimes. You have to work it out. Some things you have with people, you just have to work it out with them. And you try to avoid. Remember the man who left? Master said he left. I mean, Swamiji said he left because of one other man. Jerry was the guy's name. Remember Jerry? I just can't stand Jerry. So he left the whole ashram and Master because of Jerry. Then somebody saw him later. He said, you know, I left because of Jerry, but now where I am, there's 5 other people just like Jerry. Isn't that true? You can't run away from your own tests until you pass the test. Then it's not there anymore. And suddenly you're in a different situation and all of that. So get strong in yourself. It's not an easy answer. I grant you that. But try it. You'll get stronger yourself.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. And we are so thankful that you actually came back to India.
I'm thankful.
The next question, Dhyanaji, is can I do affirmations along with our affirmative chants like the chant joy, ever new joy? Does it count as an affirmation?
Yeah, but try to do both because both have a different effect, isn't it? When we were chanting with Swamiji today, you can just go out of your body, you know. You know, I awaken thy light, then you just pop out of the body, which is a good thing. And the other ones are more will. And the way I felt it was that while hearing Swamiji chant, that was more heart. And then you lift the energy up when you meditate. These other ones, when we were doing this other one, it was just boom, boom, straight from the Kutastha. So they have different effects. I do both.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. The next one is, there are negative people around me. Do their thoughts affect me as well?
Definitely.
How can I be positive in the midst of a very negative environment? Is it worth affirming during those times?
Oh, I see the point. So now here's an interesting thing to look at with that. Are your thoughts affecting them? They are. So if you're feeling, I don't like that person, that your thoughts are affecting them, and then they go, I don't like them either. And then their thoughts are affecting you, and you're just in a ping pong match there. And so why not put out positive energy? And even if you can't do it when the person's there, do it in prayer, do the healing prayer, do the prayer we just showed on the screen, peace and harmony prayer. Ask Master to open the door to peace and harmony with that person. Yeah, their thoughts are affecting you, but you can, what do I want to say? You can protect yourself through everything I just went over, you know, by chanting and affirming and meditating. You can protect yourself and get an astrological bangle if you possibly can. You can read about autobiography. I think many of the devotees, disciples have them with Ananda now. And then everybody says, oh, I don't have the money, I can't afford it. But then they're off to Goa. So, you know, you can afford what you want to afford. But I got the bangle was a gift. But I also got a Navratna, which if you can get that, even more protection. But I started with 2 stones, because that's all I could get. Then I got the 3rd, then I got the 4th. It took me about 6 years to get the whole thing, but I just, every extra money, I got a new stone. So for the spiritual things, put money aside and you'll find they really help you. Buy a harmonium, you know, I can't afford a harmonium. Well, you know, have a little spiritual bank where you collect money, you have extra money, and then go get these things. They're important on the spiritual path.
Thank you, Dhanaji. Next, we have another live question, which is, there are chants in other religions such as Sikh and so on as well. Would they be counted as affirmations, or are they somewhat different?
They are somewhat different, yeah. The things that Master Swamiji gave have a particular vibration of changing your consciousness. That's what I want to say. They change your consciousness because they're embedded in them is a blessing and is the power of our gurus. That's the difference. And you can do others, but they don't have that same potency. See what I'm saying? Like I could either do energization, or I could go follow some martial arts exercises and say, oh, these are good, but they don't have Master's blessing on them. You see the difference? So you want Guru Kripa in whatever you're doing. If it's the chant, if it's the meditation technique, if it's the Ananda Yoga, you want the Kripa there. If you don't have that, you're missing something.
Thank you, Dhanaji. We have two more questions, unless another live question pops up. First is, how do affirmations and faith in God work? Isn't faith enough?
No. I mean, that's like, Guru will do it all for me. God will do it all for me. But didn't Master even said 25% is your efforts? And 25% Guruji gives you his power, and God's power is 50%. Remember the man who said, Master, I can't do a particular thing he asked me to do. He said, he said, you can do it because you're a master. Master said, what do you think made me a master? By doing. So you can't sit back in a lazy boy chair and think Divine Mother's going to take care of everything and all your problems and feed you and clothe you and give you a raise and make your family harmonious and make you healthy. You got to put out some energy. So once you put out energy, you grow. I remember one story Swamiji said, I've told this before, when he started Ananda, he said that he hoped that somebody would come. He didn't have the money to build that whole community, surely. He hoped someone would come who would be able to help financially. And he said he even hoped Divine Mother would send someone, and she didn't. He said she didn't. But what happened? He said, we grew. The few people there, we grew. We grew in faith. We grew in attunement. We grew in energy. We grew in magnetism. So if you want to grow, you have to put your part in. And then, I mean, are we here to grow or not? Are we here to just be passive? And no. And most of the world is going through life in a passive way. The devotee is going straight ahead, focus, energy, magnetism. You know what you want. You know what you're going for. And thank God we have all of our Guru Bhais headed in the same direction. So we have the Satsang there.
The final question, Dhanaji, is, should I also visualize the result, what I'm looking for, while doing an affirmation? Will that help?
I think that's a tricky one, because if it's something you don't need and you keep visualizing it, like there was, I can't remember the full story, but I think it's in Raja Yoga where somehow this man this saintly person, it must not have been that saintly, but he was sitting under a tree and he kept worrying that a tiger was going to come. I can't remember the whole story, but he kept thinking about and visualizing a tiger come. So what happened? The tiger came and ate him up. So you're going to be careful with these things. The best thing is to say, Divine Mother, it feels right. If this is right, fine. And you can visualize. Visualization helps. But don't sit there every day. I need a car. I'm visualizing just the one I want. I got to have that car. I got to have an Innova. It's got to have these kind of seats. It's got to have this. I know people waste their time like that. And don't get so attached that, you're just clinging to that thing. What if you leave this earth? You're still going to be clinging to the Innova, and you got to come back for the Innova. So better to say, Divine Mother, I'm your child. If you want me to have this, I'll work for it. I'll put out the energy. But if it's something I don't need to have, I don't want to have it. You remember the man who wanted that job? This is in the New Path, and he wrote Master. It was Mr. Koran, yeah, Senior Koran. And he wrote to Master just to say he had gotten this job. And he was so happy, he finally found a job. And Master wrote back and said, under no circumstances should you take that job. And the man, it was hard for him to it's hard for him to do what Master said. He said, he knows I need a job. And everybody in that company went to prison. The job, including the man who took the job that he was going to have, they went to prison for fraud. Now, these are all things only a guru can guide you in. How do you know? So I got to have that job, that very job. I got to have that job. And you get in that job and the company falls apart. Or something happens, something's illegal going on there. You just don't know. So better to always, and I'll close with this, always at the end of an affirmation, a visualization, whatever, Divine Mother, ultimately, it's thy grace. Thy power. What is grace? It's God's power. It's thy power who will change the circumstance, or who will give me the right result or the right answer. I put my hand in thine. And that way you never run into big problems with affirmations and visualizations, getting things that you don't need. And what Master said about Mr. Quran, he had enough money. That's what he said. He had enough money. He didn't need that job. So think about these things as you're working with affirmations. And I would highly recommend you get this book. It just came out. It's fabulous. I use it all the time. And this one, this is How to Achieve Glowing Health and Vitality. And there are a lot of wonderful things on affirmations in there. And finally, Swamiji's book also on affirmations for self-healing. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day.